You tap a glowing rectangle in your hand, right? A tiny digital car crawls across a map, and then 20 minutes later, a hot pizza or maybe a prescription is sitting right on your welcome mat.
Right. Yeah. It's the ultimate modern convenience.
It really is. Usually when we talk about ordering food or getting local delivery, there's just this expectation of total seamless magic.
Oh, for sure. We like knowing exactly when something will arrive, without having to make a phone call or pull out a physical wallet. It's just tap, pay, consume.
Tap, pay, consume, exactly.
Hmm.
But then if you actually step behind the counter of your favorite local restaurant or, I don't know, that neighborhood pharmacy, suddenly that seamless digital magic is, well, it's turning into a margin-crushing nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare is the right word.
Because we're looking at a business landscape right now that's quietly at war. A war over profit margins and, honestly, even more importantly, customer data.
Absolutely. I mean, we are witnessing the absolute definition of a squeezed middleman scenario here.
Right.
These local businesses, they're handing over their entire brand reputation and their direct customer relationships to these massive third-party aggregator apps just to survive.
Exactly. I mean, we've all used the big delivery apps, but lately, local businesses are getting just absolutely crushed by heavy commissions.
Look, 30% sometimes.
30%. And worse than that, they're losing control over you. Like, you, the actual customer, listening to this. So our mission for this deep dive is to explore the escape route.
The way out.
Right. We're digging into exactly how businesses are breaking free from this third-party dependency by launching their own white label delivery platforms.
Yes.
We're going to look at how this worked, the real economics behind it, and, the blueprint to actually execute it.
Because ultimately, this isn't just about moving a cardboard box of food from point A to point B.
Go.
It's about owning the customer relationship.
Right.
Like in a digital-first economy, if you don't own the data, you don't really own your business.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the core problem is fascinating when you really think about the mechanics of it. Let's say a local burger joint makes just a genuinely incredible burger. You buy it through a massive delivery app. The app takes a huge cut of the restaurant's profit.
Like we said, sometimes 30%.
Right. And then say the delivery driver is 20 minutes late and your fries are completely cold. Who do you actually get mad at?
Well, psychologically, you blame the burger joint.
Exactly. You're mad at the restaurant, but the burger joint has absolutely no way to make it up to you.
Because they don't even have your email address.
Right. The delivery app holds all your data. To the app, the restaurant is basically just, I don't know, a ghost kitchen doing the manual labor.
Which is why taking that ownership back is arguably the most critical business strategy of this decade for local retail and dining.
But how do they do it without becoming a massive tech company? I mean, a local bakery doesn't have a Silicon Valley engineering team sitting in the back room.
No, definitely not.
And that brings us to the concept of the white label delivery platform. Let's use an analogy here to define this, because the tech jargon can get pretty dense.
Good idea.
Imagine you want to build a house. Building a custom delivery app from scratch is like buying an empty dirt lot.
Yeah, you have to do everything.
Everything. You hire an architect, pour the concrete, frame the walls, do the plumbing, check the electrical. It takes months, maybe years, and just a massive amount of capital.
Not to mention a lot of highly specialized technical knowledge to ensure the roof doesn't cave in the first time it rains.
Right.
Or, in digital terms, the first time your app gets a massive spike in traffic on a Friday night.
Exactly. The servers crash. But a white label delivery platform, on the other hand, is like buying a fully constructed, move-in ready digital house.
The plumbing works.
The lights turn on. The foundation is rock solid. All you have to do is paint the walls with your specific brand colors, hang your logo on the front door, put your domain name on the mailbox, and, well, you're open for business.
And what's really fascinating here is the immediate real-world benefit this provides to the business owner.
Yeah.
The data we're looking at highlights a pretty staggering statistic. Businesses using their own direct ordering channels often see up to 30% higher repeat business compared to when they rely entirely on aggregator platforms.
Wait, hold on. 30%?
Yeah.
That's a massive jump in loyalty. What's driving that specific number?
It comes down to friction and personalization. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
When you order through a third-party app, the algorithm's goal is to keep you on the app.
Right. To buy from anywhere.
Exactly. Not necessarily to keep you loyal to that specific burger joint. But when a business has a white label app, the money goes straight to them, and they can personalize the entire experience.
Oh, I see.
If you order directly from their app, They can instantly send you a push notification on your birthday, offering a free appetizer. They can run targeted loyalty programs based on your exact order history.
Because they finally know exactly who you are.
Yes, they're incentivizing repeat orders.
If we connect this to the bigger picture.
Yeah, so we connect this to the bigger picture. For you, the customer listening right now, this creates a much more trustworthy experience.
It really does.
Think about it. Have you ever used one of those third-party apps and it just feels completely disconnected from the actual restaurant?
Oh, all the time. The menu layout is chaotic. The prices are mysteriously marked up by like $3.
Right. And if something goes wrong, you're trapped in this confusing customer service chatbot maze.
Yes. The
Yeah.
chatbot maze is the worst.
That fragmentation is a huge problem. With a white label platform, you're engaging directly with a single branded environment that reflects the business you already know and trust.
It matches their vibe.
Exactly. The interface matches their vibe in the physical world. It builds a psychological bridge.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second here.
Sure.
If I'm a well-funded startup, or I don't know, even a highly successful local chain with a few locations, why not just build this myself? Like, if the ultimate goal is total control, shouldn't I just hire some freelance developers and own the code from the ground up? Why lease the house when I can build the mansion?
Well, this raises an important question, and it's basically the classic build versus buy dilemma in software.
Right.
To understand why building from scratch is usually a fatal trap for non-tech companies, we really have to look at the architecture. People think, oh, I just need an app.
Just one little app icon on the phone.
Right. But you aren't just building one app.
No, you're building a massive interconnected ecosystem. Looking at the breakdown of this tech from the source, it actually relies on 4 distinct pillars.
Yes. 4.
Let's walk through how they connect. The first thing you build is obviously the customer app. This is what you and I download. But it isn't just a digital PDF of a menu.
Far from it. A modern customer app requires intuitive product browsing, advanced search filters, and real-time order tracking.
Which means mapping integrations.
Exactly. You need deep mapping integrations. You need multiple secure payment gateways so people can use Apple Pay or a credit card seamlessly. Plus, you have to build a rating and feedback system and the logic to handle complex promo codes.
That alone is a heavy lift.
Yeah.
Okay, so a customer places an order on that app. Their first instinct is that the job is done.
But it's just starting.
Right. How does the kitchen actually know what the customer ordered?
Yeah.
That brings us to the hidden half of the tech. Pillar 2, the vendor panel.
Exactly. If you're running the restaurant, you need a tablet or a screen in the kitchen buzzing with real-time push notifications.
Right.
You need to be able to accept the order, update the preparation status, and critically manage inventory on the fly.
Let's expand on that inventory thing because it's vital. Imagine a busy Friday night. Your restaurant suddenly runs out of tomatoes.
A nightmare.
Total nightmare. If you don't have a dynamic vendor panel, customers keep ordering salads with tomatoes on the customer app. You have to call them, refund them, they get angry, it's a mess.
Yeah.
A good vendor panel lets a cook tap a button and instantly remove tomatoes from the live menu across the entire city.
And once that tomato-less salad is finally prepared, who picks it up? That's pillar 3. The delivery rider app. This is a completely different beast from the first 2.
Right, because the Rider app needs constant GPS pinging. It needs instant order assignment algorithms, route optimization. Route optimization is huge.
I want to pause on route optimization because that's notoriously difficult to code.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If a driver has 3 separate orders in their car, the app needs to instantly calculate whether it makes sense to drop off order B before order A, factoring in one-way streets and live traffic data.
Wow, okay.
If your custom app fails at that math, you're delivering cold food. It also needs an online and offline toggle for the riders and a secure way for them to track their earnings history.
Which finally brings us to pillar 4, the eye in the sky, the admin dashboard.
Yes.
Think of this as the air traffic control tower for the business owner. User management, vendor management, rider management, all in one place.
Yes. If you notice it's pouring rain and rider demand is spiking, how do you capitalize on that?
Surge pricing.
Exactly. Through the admin dashboard, you can instantly push a surge pricing rule or increase the delivery radius. It's where you configure commissions, monitor real-time analytics, and generate revenue reports.
So when you ask, why not build it yourself? You have to look at that entire ecosystem. That is 4 highly complex, distinct pieces of software that must communicate with each other flawlessly in real time.
And if you want to build that custom from scratch, you don't just hire a developer.
Right.
You need iOS developers, Android developers, backend engineers, DevOps specialists, and quality assurance testers.
That's a whole IT department.
It takes 6 to 12 months before you even have a working prototype.
And that's where the white label solution proves its value. It acts as a fully functional minimum viable product right out of the gate. Because the foundational code is already written, battle-tested, and updated by the provider, the technical expertise needed on your end is almost zero. Your time to market drops from a year down to roughly 2 to 8 weeks.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room here.
The cost.
The cost. The data lays out the financial reality pretty clearly. A standard setup for a robust white label delivery platform is going to run between $5,000 and $25,000 up front.
Okay.
Plus ongoing monthly SaaS, that's software as a service fees, ranging from $300 to over $1,500.
Let's be real for a second. 25 grand up front and $1,500 a month. That isn't exactly pocket change for a neighborhood bakery, is it?
It's a significant capital investment, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you have to evaluate it against the alternative, and you have to look at the long-term return on investment. Highly customized platforms built from scratch easily exceed $80,000 to $100,000 just for the initial development.
Just to start.
It's to start.
Yeah.
And that doesn't include the massive ongoing maintenance costs, because you have to keep a tech team on your permanent payroll to fix bugs.
Which is terrifying for a restaurant owner. But still, what about that monthly SaaS fee? Up to $1,500 a month feels steep when you're essentially just leasing the software.
Going back to your house analogy, think of that monthly SaaS fee as your digital HOA, your homeowners association fee.
Oh, I like that.
It covers round-the-clock security, fixing the leaky pipes when a bug pops up, and making sure the roads to the house, meaning your server uptime, are always clear.
Makes sense.
But more importantly, let's look at the margins. If a local business is paying 30% of every single order to a third-party aggregator, they're losing thousands of dollars a month anyway.
That's true.
That $5,000 white label entry fee pays for itself remarkably fast when you recapture that 30% margin. You scale without arbitrary platform limits.
Okay, that makes sense. The math checks out if your volume is there. So now that we understand the technology and the economics, how does a business actually choose the right setup?
Because they aren't all the same.
Right. A single mom-and-pop diner doesn't need a sprawling air traffic control system for 500 drivers.
They don't. And white label providers have anticipated this by offering distinct models tailored to different operational needs. It's not a one-size-fits-all product.
Let's walk through how you match the model to the business. The first and most straightforward is the single vendor delivery platform.
Right. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's designed for one specific restaurant, a local retail store, or a cloud kitchen.
Let's define cloud kitchen real quick for anyone unfamiliar.
Sure. A cloud kitchen, sometimes called a ghost kitchen, is a commercial cooking facility that has no physical dining room and no waitstaff.
Just delivery.
They exist entirely to fulfill digital delivery orders. For them, a single vendor platform is perfect. Customers order directly from their specific brand, they control the menu, they keep 100% of the profits, and they own all the customer data. There's no competitor's pizza listed next to theirs on the screen.
But what if you don't just want to be the restaurant? What if you want to be the aggregator? That leads us to the multi-vendor marketplace platform.
This is built for startups wanting to operate large-scale delivery networks. In this model, you are the mall, not the individual store.
Oh, I see.
You onboard multiple restaurants, grocers, or retail shops onto your branded app, and you generate revenue through commissions on each sale, monthly subscription fees for the vendors, or delivery charges.
Here's where it gets really interesting. With this multi-vendor model, a white label solution isn't just for a local burger joint trying to save on fees.
No.
An ambitious entrepreneur listening to this right now could literally use this technology to launch a direct competitor to major delivery giants like Uber Eats or DoorDash right in their own hometown.
Absolutely. That's the democratization of the technology. Yeah. You don't need $1 billion in venture capital to have the necessary software infrastructure anymore.
You just need the hustle.
You just need the local hustle to convince the neighborhood restaurants to join your platform instead of the giants. Which naturally leads to a variation of this, the hyper-local delivery platform.
I see this one everywhere now. It's entirely focused on rapid delivery within a tightly defined geographic radius. We're talking quick commerce.
Quick commerce is fascinating. It's the promise of getting groceries everyday essentials, or over-the-counter pharmacy items delivered to your door in 15 to 30 minutes.
Which is incredibly fast.
To do that, you can't have drivers crossing entire cities. The back-end routing has to be incredibly precise, limiting orders to specific neighborhoods and utilizing hyperlocal micro-warehouses. The white label software can be configured to tightly geofence those delivery zones.
And finally, there's the niche-specific delivery platform. If you aren't doing general food or groceries, you might be delivering highly regulated or delicate items. We're talking pharmacy deliveries, flowers, or alcohol.
These niches have unique, non-negotiable requirements. If you're delivering alcohol, the driver app needs a mandatory ID scanning step before the order can be marked complete.
That makes sense.
If it's prescription medication, you need stringent, HIPAA-compliant data handling and secure signature captures. The platform has to be customized for those specific legal compliance needs.
Okay, so let's say someone listening wants to pull the trigger. They know their market, they've picked their model, maybe they want to launch a hyper-local marketplace in their city, they have the initial capital. How do they actually go from an idea in their head to an app on somebody's phone?
There's a very clear, strategic, 8-step blueprint to launch and grow this kind of platform. You don't just buy it and turn it on.
Right. Steps 1 and 2 are foundational. You define your specific niche and business model, and then you select a reliable white label sauce provider. Companies like Enatega are highly regarded in this space, offering all 4 of those pillars we discussed: customer, vendor, writer, and admin, along with robust technical support.
You need a partner, not just a vendor, because they're handling your server upkeep.
Exactly.
Once the provider is locked in and the servers are spun up, steps 3 and 4 are where you make it yours. You customize your branding.
The fun part.
Now, you're adding your logos, selecting your exact color palettes, and ensuring the user interface of the mobile app perfectly mirrors your website. Then, if you're running a multi-vendor marketplace, you have to hit the pavement and start onboarding your partners.
And setting the commission structures correctly during onboarding is life or death for the business. You also have to physically train these restaurant owners on how to use the vendor panel tablet so they can manage their own menus without calling you every 5 minutes.
Which is why intuitive software is so important. Step 5 is configuring the critical infrastructure.
Right.
Payments and delivery zones.
Right.
You have to integrate secure payment gateways, decide if you're allowing cash on delivery, and mathematically draw out your geofence delivery zones and variable pricing rules.
Which brings us to step 6, and I cannot stress this enough: rigorous testing of the entire system. You do not want a customer's first impression to be a glitch where their credit card is charged, but the kitchen's tablet never gets the ticket.
Oh, that's the worst.
You have to simulate absolute worst-case scenarios.
You really do. You have to test the unglamorous back-end processes.
Yeah.
For instance, the refund and cancellation handling.
Because things will go wrong.
Oh, they always do.
Yeah.
If an order goes catastrophically wrong, say a driver drops a pizza on the sidewalk, how smoothly does the money actually route back to the customer's bank account?
That's a huge test of the system.
If your refund API is broken, you don't just lose a customer, you get hit with credit card chargebacks. Identifying those bugs in a sandbox environment is mandatory.
Which naturally leads to step 7, the launch. Getting your apps approved and published on the Apple App Store and Google Play. But you shouldn't just flip a switch and buy a massive billboard on day 1.
No.
You need a soft launch, roll it out in a highly limited area, maybe just one neighborhood, monitor the real-world performance, and patch the minor issues before you scale up marketing.
Because step 8 is where the real work begins. Marketing and growing your platform. Having a brilliantly coded app doesn't automatically mean you have a business.
Right.
If nobody knows it exists, it's just sitting idle on a server.
Exactly. Building the tech is only half the battle. If it just sits in the App Store, you make $0. You have to actively drive user acquisition. Referral loops are huge here.
Like giving existing users a $10 credit for bringing in a friend?
Yes, that creates viral, organic growth.
Local influencer marketing is also uniquely effective for this specific business model. Partnering with local food bloggers or neighborhood lifestyle creators build immediate, localized trust.
You also have to master ASO App Store optimization. You need the right keywords and a flood of early good reviews so that when someone in your town searches food delivery on their iPhone, your app pops up naturally above the giants.
You pair that with targeted email and SMS marketing.
Right, to bring users back with promo codes and active social media management to build a community vibe.
But out of all the growth strategies, there's one tactile, analog detail from the sources that truly sets the best platforms apart.
Yes, the branded packaging. I absolutely love this part.
It's so clever.
You're running a highly complex cloud-based digital strategy with GPS routing and real-time syncing, but ultimately the entire experience relies on the physical, real-world touch of receiving a customized box or a beautifully branded bag on your doorstep.
Yeah.
That physical packaging is what solidifies the brand recall in your mind right before you take that first bite.
It perfectly bridges the cold digital convenience with the warm physical product. It proves you're a real local entity, not just a faceless tech company.
So what does this all mean? We've covered the brutal squeeze on local margins, the complex four-pillar architecture of these platforms, the surprisingly accessible costs, and the blueprint to actually launch one. Where does this leave the industry?
It means we're looking at the true democratization of the delivery industry. For a very long time, the massive aggregator apps had an absolute monopoly on this technology.
It was untouchable.
It was simply too expensive and too complicated for anyone else to build. But white-label delivery platforms change the equation entirely. They allow local businesses and ambitious neighborhood startups to bypass those monopolies entirely.
You can effectively launch a fully functional enterprise-grade digital ecosystem in a matter of weeks rather than years.
Precisely. And most importantly, it allows these businesses to fully own their operations, their data, and their customer relationships. They can finally stop renting their audience from a middleman and start actually owning their future.
Which leaves us with a truly fascinating thought to ponder as we wrap up. If this enterprise-level technology is now accessible to almost anyone, I mean, if every local restaurant, neighborhood pharmacy, and corner grocery store eventually realizes they can adopt their own direct-to-consumer delivery tech for a fraction of the cost of building it, what happens to the giant aggregator apps?
That's the billion-dollar vulnerability. Will we see a future where our neighborhoods become digitally hyper-localized again? Could the era of the mega delivery app completely collapse under the weight of thousands of independent, fiercely loyal, and technologically equipped local brands?
It's entirely possible. The technology is no longer the barrier holding them back. It's just a matter of who has the vision to take ownership. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep looking closely at the apps on your phone, keep questioning the systems you interact with every day, and we'll catch you next time.